Hello everyone and welcome back to Black Dahlia. Last time we had a whole lot of things dumped on us and have started to collect a whole bunch of talisman for Pensky in order to fight back against our attacker in our dreams, whoever he is. We have 2 of the talismans, but we don't have the 3rd. Maybe Pensky has something to say about that, but it doesn't look like it.
Do you have any idea why a kraut named Von Hess would be so eager to get into the Raven Room? He's been putting the squeeze on a Thule member pretty bad to get an invitation to this party of theirs.
You must go there.
What for?
The Nazis have been in pursuit of the Dahlia for some time now. If Hitler were to get his hands on the gem, I mean, who knows what kind of suffering the world would see.
There's only one problem. The party's by invitation only. And all the invitations have this seal from this old order of knights.
The followers of Landau.
Yes, that's right. The invitation's no good without the seal.
I've seen documents on display at the Museum of Natural History with that very same seal. I'll bet Miss Strauss would be willing to help you out.
All right. If I can't wrangle an invitation out of someone, I'll make my own.
And so we have been doing.
I can't help you until you found all 3 talisman.
I just want to hear him say talisman more. Pensky did mention that we had to get closer in order to get to the rest of the talismans. And that's probably what we have to do with the Wisdom of the Dragons, so we gotta go into the party. Which means that we are going back to the Museum of Natural History in order to find out what we can do about creating a seal of our own. Luckily for us, just mentioning the name gives us the ability to go there again. So it's not like Pearson completely forgets addresses. Just sometimes.
I was in luck. Helen knew where they kept an original stamp for the seal. She agreed to meet me at the museum after hours. I could use the stamp to make my seal, but I had to be extremely careful and return it to its display case as soon as I was finished. There was only one problem.
I don't know, Helen. You're sure this is the right stamp?
Yes, I'm positive.
But the seals don't match.
I'm sure it's the right stamp. I guess it just needs adjusting.
You know how to do that?
Well, no, not really. You'll have to hurry. Fred will be making his rounds soon. I'll get in trouble if we're caught down here with that case open.
I'll do my best.
Hurry, Jim, or we'll be caught.
Well, now we're back in the museum, in the room, and we're practically stuck here until we are going to be figuring out how to adjust the seal to be the proper one. This means a puzzle!
Jim, are you all right?
Yeah, I just keep having these weird nightmares, that's all. I'm okay, I'm fine. Thanks.
According to this piece of paper, apparently there are 5 different seals? Or, doesn't look like it, actually. It looks like there's just the 2. They're just in different wax, anyways. So if it's not the one that's being shown onto this stamp, it's going to be the other one. And this is the puzzle that we have to deal with. This puzzle sucks. The stained glass puzzle is annoying, but it's doable. This one, however, you have a lot of things going against you when you're trying to figure it out. It follows the same problem that the lockbox puzzle has, in that you are given no clues or instructions on how the stamp works. But let's just say, you gotta go in, deep in order to figure it out. Pretty much try and bull through it. The whole gist of this puzzle is that you have 5 rings, technically labeled 1 to 5, from the furthest to the closest towards you, in terms of the perspective, that you are able to rotate to the left or to the right. Depending on what you do, and what order you are adjusting each of the knobs, you will find that you are able to pull back one of 4 sections of the seal end. And with that, you're also able to rotate within the drum with very little visibility to you in order to rotate the seal that you don't want, rotate it out of the way so that you can put the correct section of the seal that you are wanting out in front, so you can actually use the stamp. The problem with this is, well, threefold, technically. 1, sight, 2, hearing, and 3, perspective. I'll start with the perspective because, well, you are not given a great perspective in order to figure this out.
Hurry, Jim, or we'll be caught.
Chances are you're going to be restarting this puzzle a whole lot in order to get the right combination down. You are technically given a little small hole right above where the stamp is in order to actually see where certain pieces are in the puzzle, but it's honestly not enough. The second and third are kind of in hand with the sight and hearing. Sight can only get you so far in terms of actually seeing you rotate each of the knobs, but hearing will also throw you off because you'll get a whole lot more clicks than you will see the knob actually rotate. And that can throw you off about like how much you're supposed to rotate things and how much you're not supposed to rotate others. Because in all honesty, I still don't know how much you're supposed to rotate each knob in one specific direction. This is one puzzle where even when I was looking at a walkthrough for it and seeing the actual solution for it, which I'll put up on the screen now, I still didn't know how to actually do it properly. Sure, it says 4 to the right, 3 to the left, 1 to the... and all of that different ways, but it doesn't really specify how much to put it in different positions. So, in all honesty, you really do have to just like bull through it and just crank all of the knobs into pretty much the maximum they can to go to the right, the maximum they can go to the left. Because when there's no detail as to how much you're supposed to actually move it, that's really kind of your first instinct, and the most accurate. Now, knobs 2 to 5 have to do with the specific sections of the actual seal part, whereas the first knob actually more has to do with rotating the specific pieces so that you can get the seal that you want out in front. The second thing, kind of the most important thing, is why would anybody design a stamp this way? In all honesty, it's like building a transformer without any of the instructions. I guess the other thing that I have a problem with this puzzle is that, well, it's unrealistic. I don't really recall anything in history where this kind of thing was made, and for what purpose. Whether it be for, like, security reasons from a noble or anything like that, where they would switch out a seal so that nobody could use their specific seal, I could kind of get that. But I don't really have any details in order to back up that hypothesis. Yeah, it's about this time that I steamroll it. So I believe that this last attempt, I was sitting here for about, 30, 45 minutes in order to figure this out, even with the solution off screen. And sometimes clicks have to do with actually pulling it out, sometimes they have to do with rotating, sometimes they have to do with rotating the actual seal parts. But it's just the lack of sight that you really have with this puzzle that's not all that great and fun. Now we can pull that back. Alright. So we got pretty much all of the old seal in line with one another, so we have a whole lot of spaces to deal with inside of the tumbler. Because if we didn't, we would have a whole lot of pieces like stuck and interlocking in different places. That means that we were not able to actually push out the right seal. Come on, turn. There we go. Okay, there's one. I'm pretty sure there's also a specific order of the sections that are supposed to come out of the proper seal, because I don't see this puzzle having a whole lot of different answers to it. Especially with how much strain comes on you in order to get the right pieces in the right spots. There's 3, and finally... Come on. Okay. There we go.
First you melt the wax on the paper. Then you press the seal into the wax.
And voila, there's your sealed invitation.
Thanks, Helen. I better hurry if I'm gonna make it to that party on time.
And with that, Disc 3 ends, kind of abruptly. But it definitely leads into an interesting beginning of Disc 4, where we just head off straight to the Raven Room and see what we are able to do there. We got a lot of reasons to be in the Raven Room. 1, Von Hess. 2, the Wisdom of the Dragon. 3, any sort of information about the Brotherhood. So, I will see you next time, everyone, in Disc 4.